What up, guys? Moose with you. And today we got a big one. We got a heavy, we got a juicer with sealed games and just the whole integrity of what's real and what's a reseal. It is a big deal, especially if you've been buying more recently, even up to 10 years ago. You sometimes it's possible that you got a reseal. This seal itself is actually, it's nice. It's actually really nice. And I bought it back in the day, maybe like at least 6 or 7 years ago. But some of this stuff has kind of come under fire, and there was probably a couple different releases of Sonic 3. So a lot of the Sonic 3s had the strip going down the back of it. And I have quite a few sealed games that do have that. But there's also different prints and different seals. But this one's kind of under question because there's some stuff going on right there. You can see underneath the artwork, which more than likely shouldn't happen. It can happen. It could be some ink bleeding. Sometimes moisture gets inside. This doesn't seem to have any significant rips or tears, but it doesn't matter. All it takes is a tiny pinhole. And if this was stored somewhere, it can take damage. It can take damage inside too, to like the artwork and the manual itself. Moisture, depending on where this is stored, could heavily damage the integrity of this seal and even what's inside. I've opened up stuff before, and there's been wear and tear, and moisture has gotten to stuff. So I don't feel comfortable selling this. That was the plan. These were going for big money. Probably about a year ago, they were going for like almost $4,000. And they're still going for good money, depending on, if it's authentic. It could still go for $1,000, $2,000. It's definitely kind of cooled off. Obviously, the more in circulation, the more the price is just going to go down on certain things, because there's only so many people that, are interested or have the money in taking these sealed games to the next level, and that would be, getting graded and all that, just because it adds that much more value to it. But this is heavy. The guy I bought this off of, I think there were some other collectors back in the day that also bought some of these, so they have their questions about it, especially, there's not that strip down there, but there were so many so many releases of this game. I'm sure it was one of the best-selling games of all time, so it's hard to tell. But with that being said, I feel like it's authentic in terms of what's inside. I know people have said that the artwork could be fake. It doesn't quite look like it's cut the way it needs to be cut, but I don't know, guys. I've been around this stuff a long time. I really can't tell. And sometimes, with the seal, the artwork can get pushed down. It can get pushed this way, that way. Sometimes the stuff wasn't cut perfect. Labels weren't put on perfectly. It's like anything, stuff isn't meant to be perfect, even when you're buying brand new, as crazy as that sounds. Especially stuff that's old and been sitting around for a long time and it's just taken on shelf wear and the elements, possibly. But I have been so torn about opening this, but if worst comes to worst, I'll get a really minty copy of Sonic 3, which is hard to find, which would make me really happy. If it's fake, then it's one of the few sealed games that I've opened up that is fake, and it happens. I didn't pay $1 million for this back in the day, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. The plan was to always sell this kind of stuff, but when you're not comfortable and you're not sure, it's risky, and it's time. I've had this a long time. I wanted to at least get it on tape. Me opening it. The seal itself is nice. Obviously, there's the stuff going on underneath the artwork. Some bleeding there, some dirt, so it could possibly be a fake. It could be a third-party reseal from, a distributor back in the day. The hang tab is also popped up. Usually, not all the time. It depends on the particular seal. They're usually pressed down, but that's not always the case. So, my heart's leaning on authentic with, just some wear. It's heavy. And this came with a poster, a thick manual, possibly just a generic registration card. I'm not sure. I can't remember. There's like I said, there's different releases. So I'm hoping this is authentic and I can open it up and even play it and just have a nice minty copy. But it's time. It's like I said, I don't feel comfortable selling this, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna open it. And we're going to see, there's quite a few people from back in the day that probably bought one of these. I don't know how many there were, but there was a decent amount. And this was one of the more sought-after sealed ones, even back then, 6-7 years ago. So people jumped on it, and they may have this in their collection. And it's either authentic or it's not. Or it's a reseal that has been kept really nice. And we're going to find out. We're going to open it up. And yeah, it's on there tight. So actually, I'm gonna just give it a slice. But yeah, there we go. It feels like, I don't know, real shrink wrap, but who knows? Anyone can get, but it feels legit. But, so that business is there. It definitely was underneath. It looks like it's just on the outside. It's heavy. I mean, I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a poster in here. So let's open it and see. Yeah, so this is 100% a reseal. Which is crazy. I'm happy I did not sell this, but this is fake. This is a reseal. So this is what happened. Somebody sealed these up, and this is definitely fake, 100%. I can even get my authentic Sonic 3 that I have. So this is fake. I mean, here's a black and white manual. I'm going to try to pop this out. It's like stuck in there. But the case is even fake. So everything about this is fake. And this is the first time I've got something that's fake. And I'm glad I got it on tape because this thing is just straight up fake. It's pretty wild. And the manual is heavy. But here's this manual. And I think it was a cardboard one that had a black and white. But yeah, I mean, this is just a terrible. Everything about this is terrible, and I'm not even mad about this. I'm just mad I didn't. I'm happy I didn't sell this to somebody. I thought there was even a stain on here. But yeah, I mean, this is the worst I've seen. But everything about this is 100% fake. And you saw the seal. The seal itself looked pretty legit. And there's no way you can tell. This is from a game I just opened up that was authentic. And, I mean, this might seem a little light. I mean, they feel the same to me, guys. So this guy, whoever made these fake copies, like, went to the extreme. But, so I could see why someone would get fooled. I got fooled. I just put it on my shelf and assumed it was sealed and authentic, but it's not. I mean, there's no Sega branded logo on there, and I'm pretty sure there should be. I would say almost positive that this artwork is also fake. It has to be. But this is, you know, these are, yeah, this is 100% fake artwork too. So this is fake. Everything about it. This kind of stuff happens. It can slip through the cracks. It's way more well known now than it was, you know, 6 or 7 years ago. And it's a lot harder to tell. But this is just so glossy and thick. And that's not how artwork is for Sega Genesis games. And this, obviously, I mean, this is just... This is, like, brutal right here. But everything, like, if you could just feel it in your hand. And that's why it was so heavy. And the book itself for this game it's thick. It is heavy, too. But I even thought if this was authentic that there could be a poster. That's how heavy this felt. But this is all glossy and definitely not the right label. In terms of the board, I'd have to open it up. I'm sure it's fake. It has to be. But yeah, I mean, everything about this, guys, is fake. So that solves that mystery. I do have a couple more of these type of games in the collection. And I've always believed them to probably be more on the fake side. This one I was more hopeful, but I had a feeling deep down that it probably wasn't legit. And thank God I never sold this to somebody, because I've sold plenty of sealed games before, and you know that they're authentic. You can just, I have that tell on certain things, you know, just the way the shrink wrap is, etc. If there's a plastic hang tab on the back. But this one, we just had it. The shrink wrap itself looked great. Obviously, we had some issues going on underneath with the dirty artwork, and I think that's what really set it off for me. Other than that, you know, that it was a little bit tricky. It didn't have that one common seam down the back. The hang tab was sometimes should be firmly pressed down. It wasn't, and I will more than likely throw this right out in the trash. I want nothing to do with this. I'll obviously hold on to it for a bit, just for research purposes, but this is fake, and I don't feel bad about it. I can't remember how much I spent. Honestly, it was like maybe $50. So back in the day, which was quite a bit, even for, you know, certain sealed stuff. That was a lot. Obviously now it's different, but I'm glad I didn't spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, you know. So this is the fakest thing I've ever opened up. I've opened up a couple reseals before, which, you know, I had my doubts about, and you open it up and there's some heavy wear to certain, either the cart or the manual, but it's authentic. just a seal was a reseal. This is just completely fake, and if you could just feel it, the glossiness right there, it's pretty wild. I wasn't expecting it just because I've never had this happen to this extreme before, where it was everything was fake. But you know, this manual is just, it's a black and white manual that's just all over the place in terms of the staples, and just completely reprinted manual, you know. And I don't know how many people opened this particular I know people bought this. I remember the seller had quite a bit on eBay. I don't know how many people bought it. If they opened it up, I'm guessing a lot of people didn't. I think people eventually got onto this guy and, you know, called him out on it for sure, because people just figured it out. But just opening it, it's as fake as can be. So it happens. It's not fun, but it certainly happens, and that's why you have to be careful. And I'm glad I just decided it's time to open this. It's been sitting there. I want to know. Now we know what's inside. Now we know everything about this is fake. There's not one part of this that's real, from this, you know, case to this heavy artwork, to this heavy manual that was reprinted into this glossy label and fake board for sure. So that's that, guys. I appreciate you guys chilling. I'm glad I could take one for the team. Just be careful out there and do your research. And sometimes if it looks too good to be true, it could be. Ask lots of questions. I'm not afraid to open this stuff. I've opened up a lot of Sega stuff from my collection because I like to have as close as mint to possible. So this one hits a little different. Doesn't really hurt. I have no, you know, hard feelings. It's just part of the gamble, I guess. And this was a back in the day purchase. It's 2022. This was a 2015 or 16 purchase. So yeah, this has been sitting around for a long time. So that's that. We got some fake stuff. Next time we're going to come with some real stuff, and we're going to get some nice minty stuff. And I do have at least 2 more of this type of stuff that is in the collection that I'm more than likely going to open, and it's going to end up being fake, and that's okay. And that'll be the end of my questions in terms of my sealed Sega stuff for the most part. Everything else I've gone through as thoroughly as I can and checked it out. So, fake. This is definitely going in the trash at some point, and I'll be happy to just get rid of this, and nobody will have to deal with this. So, thanks for chilling, guys. I appreciate it. We're going to come back with some more sealed for sure. Peace.